buds, welcome to WeeDnD, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClanahan. But my buds, call me Bam. Thank you guys so much for being here with us, man. Honestly, everything you guys do, all the motivation. I got some great messages this last week as we kind of came off some of our really strong couple of games there, man. And it's dope to get that feedback. It does help us. We're all attention-seeking artists, so there's that part where any kind of like attaboy is just, it'll keep us going for like that many more weeks. And so thank you, honestly. The shout outs to like dudes like Evolving Shadows and Mortigan and just seriously, you guys are dope. We got communities all over the place. I think the best one, if you want to like actually kick it kind of with us and have us around, is the Discord server. So if you haven't joined yet, come on over there, man. It is a party. All the buds are there. People update with all their cool shit they're creating. There's art rooms. There's a game of D&D being played in there, run by Titty Prime. I had a chance to pop in there a couple weeks ago now. And man, what a freaking, it is such a treat to see your D&D seed produce fruit at other trees. It's just, it's as a creator, the thing I think that D&D does artistically that I think a lot of people miss, that is the example. It's just like, oh, a story will lead to a story, which will lead to a game, and now a bunch of new people, new buds, new friends, people having a good time together in an imaginary space, storytelling, the most ancient tradition we do as a people, you know, and honestly, I love it. I don't know if you know this about me, but I love Dungeons & Dragons. I'm also a pretty big fan of this guy right here, and I find the two of them put together lead to a wonderful level of immersion, and hopefully our 2+ year production has shown that to be true. So thank you guys. Thanks to the community. You're all beautiful. You're all wonderful people. Thanks for all you do. Catch us over on Twitter at Art Hard Studios. Catch us on Facebook. We have a group over 2,000 members now. The WeeDnD Hub on Facebook. Great group. Tons of funny memes and just another great little community. We're on Twitter. I suck at Twitter, but man, are we doing it. We're slowly making an ascent there. Come on over. Help me feel like I'm not a complete failure at Twitter. And yeah, dude, Instagram. Our Instagram is popping. Our Instagram is run by Stephanie McHugh, who is, first off, the love of my life. But also the studio manager of Art Hard Studios, and her and Sean and Sandy and just all these guys that do so much work on the back end for the show. We love them very much, but check that Instagram out because it's fire. Shit. The thing about this, guys, I get here, I want to start saying things. I hope you had a good Labor Day weekend. I hope that you celebrated the fallen Union warriors. Fuck the Pinkertons. But seriously, honestly, we hope you had a little time to spend with your loved ones or your newfound families, or maybe you're just watching some old episodes of WeeDnD. In my brain, that's what you were doing on Labor Day weekend. Sure, Brandon. Sure. I do apologize. The re-up was dropped a day late. That's on me. I have been consistent about my posting, so I'm not going to apologize too much for it. But yeah, no, there was a point on Friday where I was like, oh, I didn't do the thing. And so thank you for dealing with a Saturday posting of our re-up. We do re-up our sessions that we play here live on Twitch over to YouTube at 4:20 on Fridays most of the time. So the rare exception being this last week. So thank you guys. I love you guys. But speaking of people that I love, I got to introduce you to the best cast in the whole fucking world. And in order to do that, I got to pass this joint through the magical fibers of the interweb to my dear and wonderful friend, Brendan Folger. Hey, Brendan. How you doing, girl?
Yeah! Excellent. I am doing excellent, Bam. Hey, everybody. Brendan Folger here. You also know me as Pickles on Wii. Classic. And I was thinking about my favorite, MTV reality shows. There wasn't a ton of them. There was a time where they did so many of them. I loved Fear, the one where they took a bunch of people teens to early 20s and brought them to haunted places, and then would set them up with the cameras and looks at them and they'd have to go. And then it was also that theme song, I'm not the one who's so far away.
I'm not the one who's so far away. Hey, Scorpion King, though. Let's talk about how dope that movie was. Sorry. Go on. Right?
But yeah, I loved that show. I loved that show. I loved how they go through the history of everything, how they locked them in rooms for hours. Yeah. It was awesome. They did so much shit that no one would do nowadays. But
yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. I loved it so much. Abby, have you ever had any favorite, MTV reality shows?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's something to think about. I think I have something. But I'm Abby Dandy. around these parts, I'm a little better known as Amaryllis von Shucks, the tiefling sorceress. But, taking a ponderance onto MTV's wonderful selection of shows, and there's one that stands out. And it's Tila Tequila's A Shot of Love.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not going to go on a big bisexual rant, but I will later. It's a great show.
Come on over to the Discord where Abby's bisexual rant about Tila Tequila's Shot of Love.
It's a great show. It's ultimate trash. It's garbage. And I just hope Tila's doing okay, because she seems to have had like a mental breakdown. But, love to her, love to her. Yeah. Anyway, but that like goes hand in hand with MTV. Trash.
So Abby, you might not know this. MTV used to play music videos, and it was actually a really cool channel, but you were born, 15 years after that probably was the case. So, but yeah, no, MTV actually used to have respect from people. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was much different than today.
Yeah.
So is the M for music?
Music, yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
TV.
That's
Music on
crazy.
TV. And then it became the stuff we're talking about now. So here we go.
Anyway, what about you, Drewby? I'm excited to hear all about it.
Oh, me? Well, God, thank you, baby. What up, y'all? Drew, Digby, Mull Eggington the third. Yeah. Well, speaking of what MTV used to be, I think I stopped watching it once it started becoming reality TV. I think Singled Out was the first reality TV show that was on there,
Yeah, if not
or
one of the
one
very
one
first.
of
Yeah,
the
definitely.
very first popular ones.
That like Real World, like those ones, right?
Was that VH1?
No, Singled Out was MTV, wasn't it?
Dude, obviously I don't know.
I'm gonna check.
Oh
Also
shit,
Google
I
on
don't remember. I swore.
All right, if it's VH1, you're at it.
MTV, 95 to
Yeah.
98.
Yeah, Jenny Mac.
Yeah. That was a good gamble.
So I've just aged myself, and I'm all done.
Everybody thinks Abby is 5 and Drew is 90.
You're right. So
And they're right.
almost accurate. So close on both. Yeah. Anyway, super excited to be here. Yeah, we're fucking shit up. Then look at us, the 5 best friends. I love it. So yes, Jake. Yeah. What about you there, bud? Oh,
Ooh.
shit. There you go.
I got it. Thank you, best friend.
All right. I thought
I don't know. It's good to check, but thank you. I love you. And I love you, buds. Thank you for being here. Jake Taylor here once again, still alive as Gary Greenheart, now a level 4.
We'll
stout
see.
halfling. Oh, fuck. Level 4 stout halfling paladin. And a couple shows, like reality shows, went through my head, but the most formative one for me, and it might be a stretch, but Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yes.
People.
Oh.
I do. Yeah.
Play,
that was a
play
good
is
one.
it's a real formative
counting it.
substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as
being
long as it's
literal.
allowed, like, but man, Celebrity Deathmatch, that was one of those shows as a kid where you feel like, should I be watching this? And most of the celebrity references just way over my head. But
Right.
it's like, hey, Michael Jackson turned into a hamster and got kicked into acid. Like,
Yes.
that's entertainment. And what do we get now? Ridiculousness. Come on, MTV, you're better. You don't just have to show ridiculousness.
It doesn't just have to be ridiculousness.
Modern
How
American
ridiculous.
videos.
What ridiculousness? Ugh. Anyway.
Play
What's not
D&D. MTD&D, bro. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speak up.
You know who one of the class main acts would be? It's this man up here. What's going on, guys? Woo.
Oh, shit. Thank you very much, Jake. That's right. I am your boy, Gus, Two Blunts Langley, a.k.a. Honky the Bobo, a.k.a. Bobo the Honky. And I'm back in a tank top, so you know it's me, just in case you I will be playing Dickens Tangleface, who is a clownkin cleric, which is really hard to say 3 times fast.
Yeah.
And God, it's got me thinking about how this man would design a car for Dickens. But my favorite MTV show, I'm thinking about Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My Ride.
Exhibit, baby.
A clown car on Pimp My Ride would be hilarious.
Yeah. It'd be ridiculous to not work 2 weeks later, but yes.
We got room
Yeah.
for all 36 of your homies in here. As you can see, we have the built-in popcorn maker. There is cotton candy under the dash, and it is run by an elephant.
Pull out
Yeah.
elephant nap couch.
But yeah, that show was wild. Go back and look it up. Exhibit, who's this really famous mechanic.
Abby, Exhibit was a mechanic of some notoriety.
Oh, that's what he
Yo,
said.
and then
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a rabbit hole of that, Gus, too, because then go onto YouTube and watch the real story about what happened with all of those cars. Because
Oh, so many of them were like on Craigslist for like $500.
yeah, they basically turned most of those cars into useless pieces of crap. But the ideas of all of them were great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Here's
one.
a single mother of 4 who just needs a way to get her kids to soccer practice, and they're like, "We put hydraulics on this motherfucker."
Here's a 1950s popcorn machine too.
There's a fish tank as well. Enjoy.
I changed the engine to a PlayStation 2. You're welcome.
Put a car in your car in case you need to drive to the back seat.
Yeah.
The tires, they are wheels of cheese now.
Get your snack on. That's some good ass cheese. I don't know. Nobody told me how good a cheese was.
People be getting mad.
All right,
It's a
Bam, I'm
rolling
gonna
wine
pass
and
these
cheese
days
party.
back over to you. We
Oh,
can keep
it's
talking about Exhibit, though.
Yeah, look at that. I got 2 from my man, 2 Bleezies. Personally, guys, and this was, I gotta say, as far as all of them go, I was terrified that mine was gonna get taken, as it so often does. But I have recently been on a real exploration of this group one more time, and that show, motherfuckers, is Jackass. Because
Yeah.
holy
Right.
shit. The show actually doesn't hold up very much. Like now that they've done the movies and they took that to the next step, we all kind of remember the movie stunts more than the TV stuff. But I just went
Yeah.
back and rewatched the show, obviously watching the new movie that came out and then the ones before that. And now I'm down that spiral of like, let's watch Steve-O's podcast and let's hear about my big brother and stuff like so. But Jackass, obviously responsible for a lot of injured children, myself being one of them. I was about to start listing the stuff, and then I was like, wait, now I'm doing it. I'm having people be like, Weed&d, they smoke weed and tell kids to ride on lunch trays on the side of a vehicle in full speed. But we don't do that here. We just tell you to smoke cigarettes and run around chasing people with chainsaws. I was like, dude, if you came in later, you just think that was what we do. Like, that was a real notice. But no.
Something we don't do.
You got to do your research.
You got to take the band off, at least. Like, take the chain off the chainsaw, and then they're pretty safe.
And then
Well,
Right.
people act like they're completely safe at that point. You can still hurt.
Nope.
It's still a heavy metal thing.
Mhm.
And then you just take the filters off the cigarettes, and then also that's also
There it is.
safer.
Throw those.
See?
You can cut them up with a chainsaw.
See?
God, we are full of fucking good ideas around here, guys. Speaking of good ideas, we do have us a little ritual we like to do around here, buds. Maybe you've heard about it. Maybe you haven't, but we like to take this lighter, like this little red number I've got here right now. I've been watching a lot of that new Lord of the Rings show, and it's pretty cool. Make sure we're not going to light any of your friends, families with one ring of power on fire and go. Light us up. Let's play some fucking D&D. WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD. That intro gets me pumped every single time. Oh my God, it's gonna be a singy episode. I feel it. I got the sings in me. So if you'll please allow me to set the mood. I even sang the set the mood part. Take that! All right. When last we left the helping committee, they had just leveled up to level 4. After overcoming the many trials of Chrysintius, at long last their celebration was unfortunately cut short, as the true intentions of the World Devourer came to light. For all was not as it had appeared, and the trials themselves were no more than a ruse executed to drain power from the protective barrier of Amora, Dickens' mother and servant of the Green Lady, which had been created to hide the realm of Ganjaria from Chrysintius' destructive reach. That discovery, however, was not the only revelation shared, as the weakened Amora summoned the last of her strength to show the party a vision of a second ship which crossed the astral sea and made its landing on the fertile soils of Sativan years later. From this bizarre ship emerged Dickens's long-lost brother, the Grey Jester Slapsix, who was last seen ripped away from the protective arms of his mother as he and Dickens's homeworld was devoured by Chrysanthus, adorning his finger, the platinum ring of shape-changing, the very same ring worn by the mysterious wayfarer that Dickens had conspired with in the Hopalong Haven in Humblepatch. All right, guys, we jump back in line. You guys are still standing with your feet firmly planted on this strange hunk of rock floating through the astral sea. You know, the strange, bizarre plethoras of colors all around you, swirls of vibrant reds, purples, and blues, jetting across this strange, dreamlike area in space. You know, behind you, the standing carnival of this strange location that we've had revealed is to be Dickens's homeworld. Obviously, this place you stand currently in the past, because this was all destroyed. Currently behind you, finally singeing the last of its burn, the circus tent that you guys had burned down in your battle with the great Harlequin. But I'm going to leave the squares on the map because, you know, let's have some squares. You guys, you look back and you see that now all of those, if you'll recall, around the exterior of the tent were all those faceless gray clown, no, they weren't gray clowns, that could be confusing. But the clown people and the people that were at this carnival, but their faces are all blurs. Like they don't have any actual distinguishing features. They're like, you even see it kind of hum and move when you look at their face. Like, you know, like if you don't know what someone's face looks like in a dream, it just kind of vibrates around in front of you. They are all turned now and have watched as this vision was revealed to you in the sky in front of you. You know, you look up and there's the deep vastness of the astral sea, points of starry light, you know. Maybe the most read of you have heard tale of the astral sea, this web of basically energy that connects all the planes to each other and serves as the ley line from prime material plane to the other planes, including the outer planes, which no longer connect to Ganjaria because of the fractionation ritual. So the astral sea is massive in expanse. And so it's, you know, for a moment, you can't help but just be kind of consumed by this pull of vast emptiness in front of you with these little billowing points of silvery light that shine around in the darkness. You know, the vision of this strange gray jester getting out of the ship, the revelation of the ring on his finger. You know, Dickens, you're only just learned that this brother of yours even existed after having watched him pulled away by Chrysanthus. And as you have that, you know, thought, you see the giant Harlequin mask in the sky with the little, oh, I'm sorry, this moved, with the little yellow light in its eye, now dimmer than before. It's as, you know, as she used more of her power to show you this vision, you know, the fading energy inside. She used a lot of her power to grant you guys the long rest before the final battle with Chrysanthus, and to help protect you from his attacks throughout this entire thing. So I know, Gary, it might not feel that way to you, but because you kept dying. But sorry, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. But you see, she looks down and kills Gary, and then no, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be introducing this. You see her face, the Harlequin mask, you know, apparently made of porcelain, sharp nose, delicate features with these patches of color, this rainbow flamboyant hair that does remind you a bit of Dickens's. And you see the dying golden light in her eye starting to fade. She speaks down. She says, "Dickens, this is your brother Slapsix. You saw in the vision, he was ripped away by Chrysanthus. His presence must forebode him being in league with him. I fear if your brother was tainted by Chrysanthus' touch, it cannot be good for the world of Ganjaria that he is now on our shores. You must find him, Dickens." And you hear her voice starts weakening, like it's hard to even maintain the power to have this conversation with you. "You must find your brother Slapsix and stop him from summoning Chrysanthus."
Okay, because we met. He wanted me to kill this lady.
Any enemy of Chrysanthus could be a potential ally in the end of things. I know you will find your way through. And then you feel like her focus kind of glows over all of you now rather than beaming down on Dickens. And I know you shall all prove to be the adventurers that destiny swears you to be. The very world of Ganjaria is at risk. You must stand, cast off your former lives, and be the five of destiny. And you can kind of see that the porcelain mask starts shaking a little bit as the yellow in the eye starts cracking. Her energy is very low. What do you do?
Well, I just having almost, because we're in this weird kind of timeless state of being right now. So I don't even really know how long in between the 3 times I've almost died has been.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm taking in this universe. I'm a boy from the farm. This is all kind of mind-blowingly overwhelming for me. But I can at least, once I see her talking to us, I can siphon those emotions into Amora. And I just want to tell her, thank you for everything you've done, not only for your son, our dear friend Dickens, but for Sativan as a whole. It's mother's love does a hell of a lot. I should know, and I'm thinking of my dear old ma back home, and just kind of missing her. So having that Amora energy there, it's just kind of, I'm feeling that warmth. And if I can, I want to throw a bless on her. She's a servant of the Green Lady, so if I can give her a little of that Green Lady love.
There you go.
I love that. So yes, and you know too that it's like it was the Green Lady herself that saw the motherly sacrifice of her own safety for Dickens's to get him all the way away from this Chrysintheus and the world that was being destroyed. But it was that light that called to the Green Lady, the formerly Tina Smoothhands, and she was called into her circle. So she serves as, as an agent of the Green Lady, and that is your power source, Gary. And so in this kind of mirror, looking at a mirror moment, you inspired by her golden glow and the energy and the care she showed for her son and your thoughts of your mother, it's like as light is spilled down, so too is it reflected from you and this new armor, this suit of chainmail with the outstretched flower, the hand of the lady, holding the rose out. And in a brief moment, you see the rose on your chest comes to life and it comes out and you see this rose pull out and it starts spinning in front of you. As if this bath of golden light is feeding this flower to bloom and grow in an instant. And the petals from the flower start flying around. You see the very weak and tired Amora, using most of her power to maintain this, bolstered by this moment, looks down at you and she says, I say it again, my son, and you all, be the five that destiny has shown you to be. And then you see the porcelain starts cracking, and little cracks start shooting through the porcelain frame. The energy of the eye light starts shining down on you all. And you see, those of you from last season might remember this. This was a Tina thing that would happen where these flower petals start swirling all around you guys, imbued with this golden light. Jake, Gary, you feel connected to the Green Lady in this moment, as if the world is spinning around you as the focal point. You see the flowers moving all around, and you can see as you're dealing with this death concept, you now have experienced near death 3 times in a row. You almost see a vision of yourself in the future, as if the lady is saying, if you fall, Gary, this hand, and you see the golden hand of the lady reach down. It's like, you will be welcomed into my circle. And so it's as a lightning rod through Amora. You just kind of blast this energy through all of the universe. And that fear of what may be after this, and even a little fear of what your life means to this point right now. It seems that through your actions thus far, and even in this touching moment here, you have been chosen as an elite Green Knight of the Green Lady herself. And so these rose petals fly around, this golden energy goes, and with the last bit of her energy, she sends down the beams. All the rose petals start glowing gold and platinum and shine. They're so bright you can barely look at them. And then they all start absorbing into your bodies. And you get a long rest. I said I wasn't going to do it, but Jake did a cool fucking thing.
Okay.
So hit points go to full, hit dice go to full. All your spell slots are back. All your class abilities are back.
Ooh.
But yes, and And yes, there is this moment before she's fully gone where you guys are still here. If there was anything you guys wanted to get in before that, you feel the ground start shaking at your feet a little bit.
Yo, I'm just laughing uncontrollably, like.
You guys,
I'm so much more confused. Like, this additional information did not help me at all.
Hey, if anything, your god is the god of confusion. And so it's like there's a power. Again, you're leveled up and you're getting a long rest. It's like that level of chaos in your mind. You are just embrace and swallow. And you find each of you settles this way differently. Jake, you had your connection with the Green Lady. Dickens, in this moment of absolute chaos and confusion, you link directly to Glorp and you feel that surge of power come in you. Your spell slots restored. Amaryllis, in this touch of the flowers upon your skin, it's like that embrace you had with the God Seed. And so you feel that maternal instinct shown both by the Green Lady and Amora, and your own maternal instincts you now kind of have over this strange seed. And you feel that wash over your skin. Digby, this connection and friendship, a little bit of like affection for Amaryllis, the fact that your life into I didn't mean to put you on blast like that.
Shut up!
But no, like the life you dreamed of as you worked by yourself, being bullied by Tank Badgerly your whole life. This kind of, and you had a good family, your mother and you were close, but it's more of a business relationship. You're very intellectual, and opening your heart to these people around you and these connections, though that experience was not yours, you feel hugged by this friendship and love. And, Pickles.
Hey, in that moment, because I just saw Gary like bless the all I saw was Gary bless the mask and then it cracked. So I'm like, what the fuck, Gary? Like exploding, I freak out, Gary. Oh my god! Like just
what did you do?
Like,
I'm sorry, I did inflict wounds. My bad. I have it.
Oh, nuts.
but as far
Dude,
as,
Gary
like,
killed your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pickles
Pickles
saw
was
that
like, what the
happen.
heck is going on? And you're watching everybody else just suddenly like, they're all like rubbing all this stuff on themselves, as this golden light pours on them. You're just smoking a cigarette, freaking out. You look around, and yeah, at this moment, like Gary's enraptured in this. Amaryllis is, hugging herself with these flowers. You see Dickens just laughing maniacally as he kind of like looks at his hands and looks around. Digby is just looking with giant eyes around at everybody all around him, like he's so happy to have friends. He's one of the 5, And then it's like, and Pickles, you in this moment are like, what is fucking? And you see as the porcelain mask breaks once more. You get some gaze into the realm of death. And as you look at Gary, who you've now seen die several times, like you've almost got an A+ in Gary death knowledge.
Yeah.
You've got that part of death figured out for sure. Mm-hmm. But
I'm her study buddy.
Yeah. Please use these.
She's always she's always weirdly next to Gary, like, does he smell different now? Like taking notes, like
yes.
Yo, are these broken pieces of the porcelain tangible? Like, can I like grab some as they rain down on me?
No, I love that. Yeah. You come in, it drops down. You see, there's like a specific shard that catches your interest. You can grab as many as you want, but there's one specifically that might have some cool magic stuff. Is all I'm saying. It's this chromatic shard. Okay, so it's the name of it is the chromatic shard. When whatever direction you look at it from, you see a completely different color in the shard. And so, you see hints of the color of your own hair as you rotate this chromatic shard. So yeah, you get that. You can tell it's magical, but you would, you're gonna long rest right now, so that's fair. So I just want to make sure what level this spell is before I break my own game.
Be attuned to the candy glass.
But you don't want to like cast a level 9 spell at like level 3 after someone shattered a sundial.
Hey.
Like you don't want to do that.
Is that not?
Oh,
Let that be a lesson to all
You don't want
DMs.
to do that though.
I was like, here we go, the sundial. Oh my god. Okay, cool. So Dickens, with this, you learn the spell Chromatic Orb.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it is not a cleric spell. As far as I know, it's an evocation spell, so no, that would be wizard. You learn the spell Chromatic Orb, but you can only cast it once per day. So basically, rather than learning Chromatic Orb, add it to your spellbook so that you can cast it. But basically, it's a magic item that has 1 charge of Chromatic Orb. Actually, let's do it this way. It has one charge. Just one charge. Dun, 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 bam. See, I told you I was going to sing a lot.
It's charge time.
So the way it works, Dickens, the first charge is free, bro. The first charge of Chromatic Orb, when cast from this, which will recharge every day at sunrise, when the Green Lady's light washes over Sativan, you will get that charge back. You can, however, attempt to cast from it when it has no charges, and it will have a 50% chance to break.
Okay, so my question with that is, it recharges at dawn, so it doesn't require a short rest to recharge.
Yeah, no, short rest can't recharge it, actually. It's a long rest. Did I say short rest?
Well, no, you said it recharges at dawn. So
oh, yeah. Okay, you're right.
Rest or not,
you're right. Dawn would be the marking point.
I'll
be real. I have found by saying it's like I tend to think that way though when I play. Like I'll be like, it's a lot. Like daily powers or like long rest powers.
And I get that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, because that's so fucking broken. If that's what it is.
Yeah. So you.
So regardless of whether
take a quick short rest, take a breather.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna wait for the sun, guys. Give me 5 more minutes.
What does chromatic?
And we got it.
So Chromatic Orb, you hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at a creature. So in this case, it would like shoot like a signal flare out of the crystal. You choose.
Amazing.
You choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder for the type of damage that you create. Then you make a ranged attack against the target. If it hits, the creature takes 3d8 of that kind of damage. Amaryllis, do you have Chromatic Orb?
No, I think I almost picked it once.
You have one of the weird. What was? Which
cool.
Magic missile.
Let's see. There's that one. Oh, Chaos Bolt. That's the one.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah.
So yeah, this is a new spell for the party. You know, you see the when you look into the chromatic shard, you see small spectral stars. You know, it's like looking into the astral sea, and it changes color as you turn it in your hand. And in this moment, since it's a long rest, you understand that. So now, you know, Pickles, you're kind of like, you're seeing these fabric pieces of death as Dickens collects the porcelain shards that rain down on you guys. And you see him catch one beautiful, you know, shard of glass of particular note. And then you still see like these little pinpricks of glowing. It's that ghostly green light, that energy of the punch that you've used and the energy you channeled from the dead corpse of Gary at one point, not dead, but dying corpse of Gary. And so in this moment, that's your like, you start channeling like the concept of cosmic death, of like world power entities and the void that gets created when they are destroyed. And in that awareness, through this channel in your key, it's like the scarred people that you see all around you begin to make sense. Even the world itself, like this world was created out of a place where there was tremendous energy destroyed, and then a big vacuum that's now causing, you know, like a hole in a big ship. All this chaos is storming for it to try to take advantage of this rare void of power. And so it's, you know, you kind of feel connected, yes, to Sativan in this moment, but almost as if somewhere you're being called to a greater destiny in the world, you know, and you become aware of, you know, all of you have just kind of accepted that you don't go beyond the Black Iron Gates. You know, like it's been like, it's illegal to leave Sativan and come back into those gates. And so it's like, you know, it's this permanent thing that there's this great festival every year that you guys are on your way to. But it's like that time in Sativan is now. And so, but now Pickles, for maybe the first time, I mean, that's your character. But perhaps you do feel a calling beyond the Black Iron Gate in a strange way through this connection with all this death in this moment. Bless you.
Interesting. Yeah, okay, so I'm taking all that in. I'm kind of getting more in tune with death and the idea of death and the fact that there's always been a lot more of it beyond those gates. So maybe that's like the other thing is there's just something, there's an energy out there that I'm like, I gotta look into this more. So maybe this is a useful energy to kind of just like tap into right now. And also I'm so interested in who this red masked, like, I want to have a drink with that man in the red mask, you know?
Yes.
But I know that I can't just request it. I have to kind of earn it. I have to earn that drink. So I'm like, all right, just kind of gestating on all that while I'm a little mortified that Gary killed.
Yeah, you feel like you peeked beyond the
chicken
very
blood.
fabric. You know, it's like you looked behind the screen, you know, and you saw this red masked, green, you know, outfitted man sitting at this strange bar with blood being poured into his glass.
Yeah.
You know, cheersing you as you peeled away from the fabric of reality. And so yes, that, you know, is part of this whole like long rest level up experience. You know, these awarenesses, these new energies and thoughts that are kind of streaming through all of you guys gives you feel those powers renewed. You know, you're like Super Saiyan for a brief moment. And at that, you start feeling the floor around you shake. And as you look back, you see all those strange blur-faced clown people are all kind of looking over at you guys. And Dickens, as you laugh, you hear a cacophony of laughter from the blurred faces. And it starts ringing all around your ears. You see the ground start shaking, the stars in the sky start shaking back and forth, and it's the whole world around you is kind of collapsing in on itself. And in a brief moment, you see the dark purple eyes of Kysinthius on the far horizon. Open, and this big black hand starts swinging at you. Suddenly, you're pulled back like you're flying through the fabric of reality again, beyond the sea of stars, back through time and space, to that strange void. This time you're floating there. There's no cosmic entities there any longer, but there is one thing that floats in the center of you all as you kind of spiral like a circle around this blade. It is the sword that you pulled from within the plane of graves. And so, you know, Gary, you found out
cursed,
that,
isn't it?
yes, it is a cursed blade, but it is a magical weapon. So this is, and I'm not going to force you to take it. This is the moment where you kind of notice that the void is pulling you as well. You guys the magic that was started under the church in Humble Patch is now coming to completion. And so you are about to be thrown to wherever that was supposed to send you in the first place.
Okay.
Cool.
So how do we grab this sword without touching it?
I'm gonna grab my hanky that I use for the bloody noses, and I got some talking to do with this sword. He done me dirty.
Spit on it. Dang it. All right, so Gary, you grab the sword. Around you kind of like, again, you have to move your force of will to kind of move in that space, and you kind of reach forward, and as you get closer to it, there's a little bit of that like Lord of the Rings whisper from Saruman around the ring, like that, just like, and then you wrap it with the bandana and like stick it with, you know, it's like you just circumnavigate that. You're not attuned to it yet or anything. So you do know it's magical. Again, you actually just got the long rest. We'll kind of factor all this into this strange magic moment right now. This magic moment. So yes, in this moment, I'll actually tell you. So Gary, that is a +1 sword. It is called the Fey Break, like daybreak, but with Fey.
Ah.
Ooh,
So Gary, you do an additional. All right, so this blade it functions as a +1 magic weapon, which is +1 to attack and +1 to damage. It also has charges on it. It has a charge of Fairy Fire, the spell, which is a wizard spell, which I can bring up here.
It's also an art. Well, I know it as an artificer too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's one of yours. Do you have the spell right now?
I do.
Can you just
Oh, do
cast
you want me
it?
to cast? Yeah.
Let's read it together.
It's a dope
Yeah.
spell if people start going invisible on you.
Go
I
back
just
to
have to
back
remember
and
how
shoot
to
it.
go to that page and do that. There we go.
There we go.
Oh my God! Look at me.
Hey.
Why don't you read it, Digby? It's your spell. Let him know what it does.
Please don't. It's so far away.
All right, just 20-foot cube within range. The range is 60 feet. It is a concentration spell for up to a minute. Don't worry, we can add this to your spellbook and stuff. I'm just explaining it. But you create a 20-foot cube that's outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in this area, when the spell is cast, is outlined in light if it fails a dex save. For the duration, anybody that is affected sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attacks against those creatures or objects have advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object cannot benefit from being invisible.
Huh.
I
So
wouldn't
this
have been able to read
sword, this sword stems from the battle between the Shadowfell and the Feywild. This weapon, the curse, the bane of shadow that comes from it, the blight that comes from it, the thing that connected you to death in the way that it did when it made you fail a death save. That's the curse. You automatically fail a death save if you drop to 0 hit points. But this weapon was created in the early days of the war between Queen Mab and the Shadowfell, which, if, quick, brief history lesson, she, originally when Ganjaria was created, she wanted to destroy the races of men, all the playable character classes, basically, of races. She began wiping, exterminating them out, killed most of the remaining people, and then the Shadowfell started coming from the south. If I can, actually, I think I can show you this map. Yeah. Bring you over here. So.
Oh man, haven't seen this in forever.
Yeah, man. This is one of the first. This is the bad one. I got to show you the OG one. It's terrible. All right, so just so we can kind of understand here, I'll ping it down here. So Sativan is down here on the bottom right, the southeast corner here. That is the Black Iron Gates. And but at the base here, all this black darkness that's creeping from the base is this wave of the blight, or the Shadowfell. Now, seeing the Shadowfell basically coming from the stem and directly going for the mana tree, Queen Mab gave magic back to the race of men to help her fight the shadow. And so she did this in these master plants. You have the Sativan plant of Sativan is this giant ganja plant, which is the root of magic in these worlds. So she sent these master nugs to each of the main kingdoms. But and again, this is a little bit of a giveaway on the map, but we touched on this. One of the 5 kingdoms has fallen, the Fellsworn. So if you see here on the southeast is the fallen kingdom of the Fellsworn. Well, the fallen Fellsworn.
They've fallen, and
so that's just a little. That's in the war between the Fae and the Shadowfell. This blade must have been forged, and so it's got a little of that Shadowfell creep to it.
Oh, okay.
It's a creep.
It really
Like they
is.
should be called like the Feyfell and the Shadow Shorn.
The
So I know this.
Shadow Shorn.
So Phalite. There you go. That's your cursed blade.
Is it
Again,
Feylight or Faybreak?
What's that? Oh, I'm sorry,
Fey-
Faybreak. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
That's even a better name. Thanks for correcting me.
Daybreak.
They're all
Totally
good.
screwed it up.
They're all good.
Feylight is cool. I like that too, though.
Yeah,
Faybreak.
maybe that's the alternate sword, the Fey version that attacks the Shadowfell. It'd be
That could be
Feylight.
like the soul
Faybreak and
caliber to the
Phaylite.
soul edge.
Yes.
Ah,
Look at us. That's D&D, guys.
and that
The
is
end.
D&D.
All right, so this is the section. I'm going to bring you guys over to Sativan real quick, because, why not? You're going through this cosmic space.
Been a while.
This is currently this is the kingdom of Sativan, and so you've got the capital city of Ashbury here at the center. The oceans of Ganjaria are frozen except for around the beaches of Sativan, and so this is actually ocean, like the seas that surround, and so that's where the path of the sea, Vivica Sea Fox, that little piece of something,
Yeah.
that is
This
sworn
little
to Sarah, the aged child. This is where basically this is the kingdom of Sativan. So the Black Iron Gate was built by the Indicus Empire to prevent where most of the food comes from in the world from being destroyed by the shadow being so close. And so in a rare case of connection between all the different major cities, there is some discord between them. They all agreed to
They
build
have
this
Discord?
gate. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Where my bisexual rant is.
Please find it. But yes, there's quite a bit of discord between the different factions, but they came together to build these iron gates. Some of the like holy rituals that were used were brought in by the Fellsworn. The magics of the Indicus Empire created a magical barrier so people can't teleport through it. It is actually very hard to get into Sativan, if not through the beach or through the gate. And since, again, this kind of barren, frozen ocean of ice trolls and all kinds of evil ice creatures that spread all around the frozen oceans, very few people would even try something so mad as to, cross the frozen expanse. So currently, you guys just went in, this is Humble Patch up here on the north. You went under, if you'll recall, Tarvin Tinderberry, the priest of the Green Lady in Humble Patch, brought you down to the secret temple underneath his priest altar. And there was a hand, an outstretched hand that waited for the torch of the Green Lady to burn in your hand. And when you put that in, that was the moment that Chrysintheus came to strike. And so in that moment, Amora came to that strange void that Chrysintheus had pulled you to, attempted to protect you through these trials that we find out Chrysintheus knew Amora would come protect his son. Perhaps why the Wayfarer sent Dickens on this course, knowing that that would cause her to protect this group and spend much of her energy to do so, allowing the barrier to finally fall. So this, from that point at which you put the torch in, all of you, as you're floating in this void, you have the sword back in your hand, and in this moment, you're reconnected to that. The last time as the reality peeled away from the outside of you, is you standing there, placing the lady's torch in the hand. And you feel that flow of like a teleportation circle is what was supposed to occur to you guys. You're supposed to just go from here to there. But Chrysintheus, that jerk, made Abby miss a week, and then we got into all this other stuff. So that's D&D too, baby. So yeah, you guys, you're flying through. It feels like you're in a subway tunnel, but you don't know what a subway. You guys know what a subway tunnel is. But you're in a tunnel with a lot of air shooting by you, and suddenly you all materialize. You're like looking around. Gary, you still have the torch of the Green Lady in your hand, but now in your other hand is the Fey break. You see those little twirls of Fey magics twinkling around it. Dickens, you're still holding that chromium, chromatic shard, and so there's like these little twinkles of magic. You guys just like super had a level up and all kinds of power surges and witnessed all kinds of things in what in the real world was the flash of a moment, and you feel the pressure of time like force feeding you everything that just happened into your minds. And you can't help but laugh with Dickens. There's just like the madness of it all, kind of the extra surge of wild magic starts filling the room, and you guys, just this laughter starts spilling out of you guys. Dickens. I'm gonna do it too.
It's like, what happened?
Stop, I'm gonna pee. Stop.
Oh, God, I do have to be.
Stop
All right, so Dickens.
Stop being.
It stinks.
Dickens, you become aware. You become aware of something in this moment as this laughter starts spilling out of you guys. You see there's actually a magical force that comes with this kind of happiness, this camaraderie, this overcoming exceptional odds. And, it is an energy that once more we explored quite a bit in our original campaign. The effect that the five would have, where they would permeate this light that could lighten the souls of the dark minds around them. And truly in this moment, as you stand by a gilded paladin of the Green Lady, holding an ever-burning green torch in one hand and a Fey magic fiery blade in the other hand, seeing this high magic, all the stuff that you just dealt with all in that surplus of time right there, you see it, Dickens. You see that happiness has a palpable energy to it. And it was through your connection to the chaos of this moment that it now came to light. And so you kind of watch as from your allies, this golden energy is like spilling out of them as the laughter fills this strange stone room that you're in. What do you do?
So just real quick for clarification for me, I know that was a long rest mechanic.
Yeah.
Do I get to attune to that magical item?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Nicer.
Asking the right
Gary,
questions.
did you want to attune to Fey break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, +1 weapons ain't no joke. They're really good.
Don't
+1
be
to attack
bashful.
is very strong.
Do you have to uncurse it first, though?
You can uncurse it. You don't have to. By attuning to it now, it is cursed. Now, there is a way. It's the spell Remove Curse. If you found a high-level priest, you're going to the festival, there's going to be those around, but it would cost money. Higher-level spells especially, there's like a pretty high gold price on it.
Right.
But by
until
being
then-
attuned to it, if you hit 0, you lose the save, even if you're not wielding it.
Instant strike 1.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's so. Well, you don't have to worry about that. You live like all the time.
All the time.
So
Don't say that.
don't even worry about it.
All right.
It's never.
This is the clip that gets used in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh no, I said
Wait, is
that
that a clip?
specifically
I see
for
a
the
clip.
last time. I was like, why did you say that?
Yeah.
Digby, are you working on your pistola during this time at all?
Nope, just cleaning my ladle.
Okay. Well, I have gun envy, and I do have one of those silly little like pull the trigger and it flops out a bang thing. And I have the idea that like I don't have a gun like him, but maybe I can like use my fake gun to focus some of my magic better. So like maybe it looks like this fake gun I have does magic, but really it's me, and it's just like a focus for me.
Dope. I love it. Yeah.
But I want it to look to like other people like it's the gun that's doing the magic.
Yeah. Kind of like, God, a lot of Season 0 references right now. But our man Shren Oldbuck had a magic shooting gun.
True.
And yeah, I took that from Final Fantasy Tactics because Final Fantasy Tactics is freaking sweet.
Yeah, man.
Super sweet.
Mustadio looked like mustard. I have to get
To the untrained eye, it looks like I need it to do.
You know what? It could basically, it's like you have your holy focus, and that is by what you cast with. So you could do a cool thing where you like take one of those porcelain shards from your mother's mask and like affix it onto the handle, and your actual focus is that piece of the gem in the handle of the gun, but your magic will flow through it that way. I like that a lot.
Cool.
That's cool.
That's so fucking cool.
Pepper it up.
Oh yeah.
And then Digby, it's only fair because we're taking away the time requirement. It's this maybe this is cool. So you see the porcelain shard, you see Dickens looks over at you, still laughing, and he looks at you and you see him stick this piece of his of the porcelain mask into the handle of his gun, and he starts having this weird connection with it, laughing to himself. But you are like, who? That porcelain is a material you've never worked with. And so if Dickens would bestow upon you a piece of that porcelain, you could use that to do the upgrade we talked about where it would no longer break on a 1.
I'll be real with you. My plan was to hang on to some of it to try to get somebody to make it into armor for me. But I think I can spare some for a purpose as valiant as that.
You'd spare a piece of your mother for me?
Oh, yeah. Here, you have the thigh. It was weird for me to pick that up.
That's my favorite part. Look at my thighs. Huge. Ugh.
Make a con save. No, I'm kidding. You gotta make a con save when you look at them dumps, baby.
Huge.
Digby got dumps.
Yes. Size of glass.
All right, so you guys are currently standing in a room. Do you want to do that, Digby, or are you gonna do why wouldn't you? Right?
I mean, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, you're right. So but this is all just the way mechanically to kind of make all these different things happen here in this moment as you're pulled through. Now, again, you guys have returned. The moment of the laughter is gone. Dickens, that discovery of the strange energy of laughter and joy around you.
Is there like a door or something that we can go
so you're looking around. Exactly. It's like, wait, you're like looking around. You're in like a little 10-foot room.
Yeah.
I actually made it, but I think I deleted it. Sorry.
Is there room for a dragodile in here? Or
So, hey,
it's a 10 by 10.
Just look at the size of the room that we're in.
No, yeah, you're in a little 10 by 10 stone walled room, similarly looking to the one that you guys were in. You see that, even Gary standing in front, there is a woman's hand outstretched in the stone wall of this room, 10 by 10 room, pretty rough hewn bricks, clearly from the northern part of Sativan, the dark gray stone that is quarried from there. You guys went through some of the mines. A mine! And, sorry, there's that super joke. Get one every week. So yeah, you're standing in this room. There is a hatch in the top of the room, similar to the one you came down, but there is not a ladder.
Okay.
How high up is it though?
Only 10 feet.
Cool.
Oh.
I did nothing. I just
Do you Super Mario it?
yeah. Whoop. Yeah, I punched up.
All right. Let me. I'm gonna bring you over to the
Yeah,
map. Give me a
I can
second.
reach that. So
I
I'll
know.
make myself a ladder for everybody.
Ooh.
Dope. The Dickens ladder.
So I'll punch it open. What is gonna happen? Oh, people.
Whoa.
People.
All right.
I've not seen all this.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
Hello.
you don't know where you're at on this map, but you
No.
Sure don't.
Pickles you punch up through the floorboards, And as you do, you see your fist like hits, and all this hay starts shooting all over the place. You're like, hey! And you jump up, and you're like looking around, and there's these terrified cows, just like, and they're all just like, just eating
Sound
tons of this hay and straw. You're in a barn. You a little animal poop like whoops, goes and lands on Dickens, and he's like, he has to look at it while he's holding himself to be a ladder for the group. But yes, you start, you guys climb out, and you're standing, suddenly you're very aware of the looming presence of the dark iron gates. Now, dark iron is a special kind of metal mined in the Indicus Empire. Their army is the Dark Iron Army, and they're very known for the strong metal that they forge. And so the looming gate, it's like there's no sun coming from one side. Look at that. Holy, you look up 150 feet tall, this looming black iron gate. You're down here. You're actually behind where there's like a pillar in the way. Thank you, isometric maps. But you're in a little barn fixated in the town of Gate Shadow, which is it's the town that serves to allow people to pass through to the gates. This is where the opening festival occurs. Hence, perhaps why Tarvin Tinderberry wanted you to teleport here to save yourself the hours of travel and having to go through the dangerous lands that lie in between. So yeah, you guys are currently kind of posted over here. The first thing that you notice after these cows, just chewing on grass around you and everything, you're kind of getting your bearings. You look, the big dark iron wall on one side of you that goes, in either way from mountain to mountain. And, but you look around, the place is a buzz. There's more people around than, it's like most of you have done the opening festival many times. So it's like, this is the day of the year in Sativan. This is where all of the bounty of the Green Lady is gathered and given to the world. More than 75% of the food of the entire world is grown in Sativan, and almost half of that comes from Gary's father's farm, the Greenheart Farms. And those caravans that you saw leaving the town will still be here hours later. Like, you guys instantly teleported here, and all that stuff that happened in the void was in that frozen fraction place of no time. And so, you guys see, Dickens creates a ladder, and you guys kind of make your way up. And now you're standing in this barn, you see just life exploding in all over places. People are bringing in, all kinds of various festival things. There's tables and tents and vendors and children running around happily. And it's hard not to see just the joy of the kingdom as people from the capital city of Ashbury with their extravagant wealth begin coming in these gilded carriages. And you see, the river that runs down near the south side, the gathered ships of the people of hate with the path of the sea. People from all around gather for this amazing opening festival. That's like the celebration of the year every year. And then the offerings are given to the flame of the Green Lady, and the people are chosen. Now, Tank Badgerly won last year with with one of Digby's inventions. So, and he's been rubbing in his face all year about it. So that, if you'll recall, was the half intended purpose of why you guys all gathered in the first place, was in order to find some kind of cool magical thing to offer. Now, that moment has yet to come. I did say the festival itself does not begin until, the sun is at the apex, so basically like noon, and it's still pretty early morning for you guys. And even then, it's like the events go all day, and then there's the big ceremony as the sun sets. And so that's when the gates are opened, and then the emissaries from all around the kingdoms come in, but they can only come in once. It can never be the same emissary, because nobody is allowed to leave and come back into Sativan as part of the protective order.
I would like to pull out that orb of direction.
Boop! Oh, you know exactly which way north is for the first time in quite a while.
I know, I'm literally like, wait, just like, that's how I kind of get my bearings with like where we are in Gate Shadow.
Yes.
Oh,
bearings.
bearings.
So that's how I get my bearings. Because I take it out to see exactly where we are. Boosh. So there's like a bunch of people everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, there. It's certainly, if there's a certain thing you're looking for, you can find it. Or it's that kind of like, it's like a big Ren fair basically. It's like there's kind of clear areas where there's markets. There are the 7 paths of Sativan, and they are all kind of camped together. There's the path of the sea, as Vivica Seafox and all those people from the Hate Kingdom. There's the path of the heart, which is like churches and inns, and so there's these amazing bars that are set up and hearth and home, big, portly women delivering large jugs of ale to happy people. There's a complete absence of stress, anger, or anything that you might find in groups of large people. The only place you might feel that is in your own hearts. Like, you're all aware of so much that these people don't know about. Amaryllis, you saw the god seed shoot through the sky, possibly an omen foretold. You saw the army on the other side of the gate. You saw a shadow looming cloud beyond that. Like, there's that. There's the shape magic. There's now these forces. Chrysintheus, the world devourer, might be able to devour the world now. And Slapsticks, your fucking brother Dickens, might be working. And so it's like, you guys are the ones who might not be able to just completely let all that go. But it is, you can't help but notice it all around you. There's just this peace and happiness as people from all around the happiest kingdom in the world, those who really don't know much in the way of struggle or adventure or battling evil, all that they've learned about it is from the old stories. And you see as they all gather for this large ceremony. So yes, there's inns, there's shops, there's mages. You smell the sweet, dank smell of perhaps some of the of a ganja dealer, and so it's your senses are literally overwhelmed after having just been in like this dark, shadowy void in a stone room, and now it's like, oh my gosh, you're just watching it all go on in front. There's even carnival games and stuff too, so there's all kinds of stuff.
What did somebody say?
Oh shit!
Let's go.
More?
Okay,
I have one addiction.
We
Carnival
are here.
games.
It looks like we've made it to Gate Shadow. I believe Sarah is completely protected. So I guess we just have to decide what our next move is. What do we need to tell somebody about the army on the other side? What is it that
I mean, Cedric is the smartest person that I know, and I feel. Oh, come on, guys, trust me, he's
Give
fun.
him too much credit, though.
He's just so smart, and I feel like we might tell him about this, and he might know what to do.
Give someone else a chance. He might be
Well,
the audience.
I mean, the closer we get to him, the easier it is to hit him. So I think we also might want to check in with because we gave him away to Alon the Green Fellow a very long time
I'm
ago.
beginning to regret it almost. We
So
did
we
it
have
very, very
I still
carefree.
feel really good about it. I still
Poo.
like super solid about that.
I can't with Cedric.
I agree, but we maybe like if we see him, we all can like group someone will bend over behind him and then I will push him over and he will fall.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll tie his shoes together. Yeah, but I feel like at some point we need to see what has happened with that, especially because we have lost our leverage with that, with the seed being gone.
They
Can
wanted the.
Could I swoop by a blacksmith while you guys are talking to Cedric?
I'll tell you. I'm realizing. I think I know how we're going to play this out after this. So that'll be an accessible part of this next phase.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. Will.
And Pickles, pranks are okay, but causing real bodily harm is not. Okay?
Right.
Now let's let the pickles out the jar.
Oh my God! You are a astral clown. A
Ass clown.
non-lethal clown from the astral plane.
I'm a good clown.
You
You're
are.
a great
And
clown.
you have a brother somewhere out there.
I'm embracing the clown thing more. Like before, I was kind of trying to be like, and now I'm just like, what?
That's true, Dickens. That was like a big part of it. It was like you used to use beard black to cover your clown-colored beard, and so it's like now you're kind of like it's like feels good to let those colors out.
I like you.
And I just
Yeah.
Aw.
I'm glad.
Okay, well, every time I come to the Gate Shadow, Shadow Gate. Every time I come to this place, I always stop by the the ganja guy. So we are going to go. Let's just stop there.
Dat
Let's go
Man?
there first.
Yeah.
Let's go there first on our way to everything else that we have to do because we always have to re-up.
Mm-hmm.
True, the enhanced magics of Ganjaria are quite spectacular. You have some, you've yet to use them, but I think, but yeah, you found some White Widow in the. I'll actually let me show this. So, first off, yes, you're gonna go see Dat Man. Dat Man is the ganja seller from Ashbury. He's known to be he harvests the finest Ganjarian ganja to be found, the freshest, most pungent, and is well respected as a path of commerce. It is like the money changing coin, toil from the earth into coin, which leads to intellect, discovery, invention. That is what the path of commerce believes in. And so they take great pride in the fact of their services requiring coin and putting pride into those services to make the exchange valuable for all people. The economy of Sativan, it's an embarrassment. I'm going to say it again, Drew. It's an embarrassment of riches. You have all the food, you have all the money, there's no war, you don't have an army. And this kingdom, they call it the Virgin Kingdom, the innocent kingdom. It is so protected by this gate that it exists almost in this perfect little harmony. And as everybody, those that toil the earth do it from a connection to their path of the earth. Those that learn of the greater things through their path of the sky, the path of the abstract by which clerics of Glorp, and those that don't necessarily subscribe to the main paths of the kingdoms, the path of the hunt. And the path of the heart, hearth, and home, clerics and tavern maidens, and they all fall into that. Each of these paths, when they all work together, create this perfect web of harmony that Sativan has known for hundreds of years. The last murder was hundreds of years ago. Now, maybe you guys found that loophole. Maybe everybody's just eating the people that they killed.
Right.
So, maybe we found out the horrible truth of Sativan.
Listen. Pickles has been speaking the truth about this controversy the entire time.
You
It's
always
not Sativan, it's Zatterhands.
Yeah.
So that is something I just feel it's important because I'm your DM. You guys play in this world. You didn't live the lives of these characters, but one thing that would be clear to you, overall, this kingdom does not like that thing you're carrying. That truth of beyond the wall and the fears of people and hatred and anger and murder and death and adventuring and slaying great fell beasts, and this kingdom as a whole is primarily against that, as you saw with Quinn Quillbrook.
So you're saying we can't run through the streets saying "run for your lives" like we have,
that you would know doing that would it's like you're saying a word they don't have a word for. It's like you could do that and they would just be like, oh, they must have had too much of hippity hoppity's mead sauce and a little hit up Dat Man.
Right.
And so yes, Dat Man.
That on the list.
Yeah, hippity hoppity's mead sauce. Put that on the list, guys.
Delicious.
Hippity hoppity from Hopalong Haven.
Yeah. It is mead sauce that you put into meat.
Not hoppity hippity.
The mead sauce.
You put the meat sauce on a meat sauce?
Yeah, you meat sauce on a meat sauce. It's like a miso.
I'm so hungry.
So we gotta meet Dat Man.
All right.
Man.
So Dat Man, you start walking down. A couple of you guys have met him before, but some of you guys haven't. He's known he's centrally located in Ashbury. So I know, Gary, you've been to Ashbury. So perhaps in some of your deeper studies into the Green Lady, you visited Dat Man on occasion. Or you caught a couple kids visiting him before the right age, which again, everybody, it's at least 18. There's some research that says 21 because your brain's not done developing yet. So, it's even inside,
18.
even in Ganjaria.
I just encourage them, use responsibly.
That's it. If you connect to the lady, it's fine.
Right.
You got to smoke this shit. No, but we have, as part of the Ganjaria Empowered Spell Components list, I don't know if I'm going to show this. I think I did. There you go. We have this spell components list. Now, Dat Man is a little tiny fairy. Okay, he's about 3 inches tall. He has purple and green wings, and he has these dark glasses that he wears over his face. He has a long, sweet, like it almost looks like a giant blunt ash for a beard. It's like gray, and then he has this like long, hanging down green mat of hair that floats around. But as he flies around, pure ganja smoke is exuded from his wings. He's like a creature. He's like a fairy that attuned to the pure power source of ganja in this world. And so you see he is like a very walking essence of the magical power that's born into the roots of this kingdom. And so, you know, he's a super awesome, very friendly person. You see there's already a bit of a line, you know, around him and everything. And you just see him, he flies around and the smoke kind of washes over everybody's faces. And you see people start smiling, you know, it's just like waiting, even in line, they get a little kiss from Dat Man's magic.
Dat Man.
Yeah,
Dat Man.
I'm like, hey, check this out. I never do this, but me and Dat Man go way back. And I'm like, hey, Dat Man. And the 5 of us just walk past everybody in line.
What?
Like,
You see this little fairy, he turns and looks at you in the little dark glasses again. He's only about this big. You know, Dickens, you're 7 feet tall, and he's this little guy, and he looks up at you. And you see he looks down, and he's like, is that Dickens? Oh! And as he opens his mouth, smoke spills out of it. You guys are all of a sudden standing in this large cloud of this strange ganja smoke. You know, you see little twiddles of purple, green, and blue magic around you as there that connection to the fey magics, the wild magics of ganja kind of float all around you. And there's this like laughter that again starts permeating out of everybody. Dickens. You're looking around, you know, it's good to see your old friend. Your heart sings to see him again. Perfectly, Dickens and Dat Man would be like close as kin. And so, you know, Dat Man is actually he represents the path of commerce, but he also has great affinity to the path of the heart, hearth, home, and things like that.
Yeah.
So in this moment, you like see him and you feel that magical ganja all around you, and everybody starts laughing, and you start seeing that that laughter, that golden light spill out again.
yeah.
And it's-
They're like, how do you know him? And I'm like, oh, he used to let me hit it back in the day. And they're like, you mean the weed, right? And I'm like,
Nice.
I'm doing the math there, and I'm having all kinds of strange connections. But yeah, you see and even your joke, Dickens, like makes people laugh even more. And you watch something you, Gus, have seen, but Dickens has not. You watch as this cloud of laughter kind of starts spilling out. That golden light that you saw focused in the room a moment ago starts spilling out. And as you watch, as people around, as that cloud goes over them, there's this like blissful look that washes over their faces. They smile, and the sun, the beautiful sun of the Spring Kingdom, washes down on their face. And you hear this sound. And at first, it's just in the back of your mind. And you look, and you can see this strange golden light of laughter and glowing being seeped out like somebody has pricked the balloon of happiness. And you see a small steam of it sucking off. Damn it, I just said sucking off. That wasn't the goal.
finish.
But filtering some of the power of happiness from this cloud that waves all around you, you watch this little stream start higgly-piggling its way all the way down to the south. And you like turn, and there's this strange island set in the center of the water, you know, where the Path of Sea has kind of set up their camp. There's this old broken tower that stands about 3 stories tall in the back. You know, some of the wall is missing. It looks like it's been destroyed, but it's been there for as long as you can remember. You know, that's the old wizard's tower, they called it. And so but you see it from behind all of this. You watch that little filtering flow of happiness being leached away from this orb. You pop your big, your eye looker eye out, and you look and you see standing on the very top of that wizard's tower, drawing in a hit of this happiness, is the Gray Jester Slapsix. And you see he's drawing all of this happiness into his mouth. You know, his big Harlequin mask hanging on his head. He looks so much like you that he could almost be your shadowy twin. But you know, the hinted tints of gray, black, and white. You know, all of this sorrow. He's got a smiling face, but the look on his face is intense. And you see he's taking a huge hit of this happiness. and he exhales this black and gruesome cloud that crackles with black and purple lightning. It's looking like he's devouring happiness and exhaling the blight.
He's stealing our happiness?
And that's where we're going to pick it up after intermission. Sorry, I know everybody has to pee. But yes, so boom. Holy crap, guys. We're going to do a quick intermission. We do a 10-minute intermission around here, buds. Please check out all this incredible, amazing artwork. So many artists have now contributed. I am surrounded by art, and it's such a blessing. Thank you to all the incredible artists who make all this stuff happen. Also, listen to the incredible original music of Sandy Stein. All our music for this show is original. It's all created by one brilliant man. His name is Sandy Stein. And oh my gosh, he is awesome. So please enjoy this amazing fantasy music. Enjoy this amazing fantasy art. Enjoy a little battle royale if you're with us on Twitch. And get yourself a little water. Be sure to hydrate, buds. Hydrate. And we will be back after this wild intermission. Big water. Still coming for you, baby. back, buds, to WeeDnD, the hot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. When we last left our group, the helping committee, THC, baby, they were exploring the town-turned-festival grounds of Gate Shadow, and they were visiting the ganja dealer, Dat Man, who is a fairy with purple and green wings, who exudes clouds of ganja smoke as he flies around. And I already love him. And
who wouldn't?
Let's go ahead and jump back in, guys. Dickens, you're watching the happiness energy, the power of joy, being like strained away from this cloud of happiness that exuded in this kind of magical moment between you guys. And you see who you now know to be your brother Slapsix, far off on that wizard's tower, floating on the island in the nearby waters. You see his gray form standing on the top. And like hitting a blunt, he's like hitting two blunts. He draws in the sweet taste of happiness, and he exudes a cloud of light. And as you watch the shadow of purple and red crackling lightning, I know Stranger Things exists, so now we all have that visual. It's like this crackling dark shadow energy, and then suddenly Slapsix disappears from the top of the tower. The little cloud dissipates into the bounteous sun of Sativan, the Spring Kingdom. So you guys are all standing still around Dat Man. You see your fairy friend looks up. Dickens! He's very happy to see you. And he says, Dat Dick, my man! Dat Dick! Ah! And he's like super stoked to see you. He's flying around. You're having this kind of moment, but he breaks your kind of transfixion on where your brother was. But now, one more possible looming threat of which you guys have to figure out which one of these you want to tackle first. But the matter at hand, he's like, you come to get some of Dat Man's finest, eh? And you see he goes over and he pulls back this little sheet, and there's just all these beautiful, ganja plants of various colors, purples, pinks, and golds. They shine with magical energy. Now, you guys know there are these empowered spell components. The way they work is they augment certain schools of magic. White Widow allows you to roll any number of dice once on a healing spell. 100 gold, pretty common. All of these are available on the list that you have, the empowered spell components. But he's like, Dickens, I have learned something very new. And he flies around, and he's like, and he goes and he pulls out these little dab bottles. He's like, I have concentrated the magics. I have concentrated them into this pure liquid form. Pure spell. Pure spells lie in here. So he shows you, this is not on your guys' sheet, but this is a vendor-specific boon he has. So Dat Man has dim dabs, all right?
Dang.
Dat Man's got dim dabs, and he shows you the 3 that he has. He has refined 3 spells into a usable item, so even non-magic users can cast magical abilities. He has Dat Glass Dab, which allows you to cast the spell Mirror Image as a bonus action. Okay? Each of these dabs, I'm sorry, they are expensive because it's like a spell use. Each one of them is 100. He's like 150 gold for the good stuff.
Come on, man. I mean,
so
that's real good. Though.
Then he's like, this is my personal brand, Dat Man's dabs. And he shows you, this casts the spell Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and the people get disadvantage on their save against it.
And that's still 150?
Also, no, that one's actually a little cheaper. That one's 100 gold.
Ooh.
Mirror Image is super good. Then he's like, and for the beautiful woman, you see, he looks back and he's like looking at Amaryllis. He's like, the feel that love dab. He's like, augment the healing magics. And so it makes max healing for the spell cast. So you don't roll. You get max hit points for a healing spell that you cast. Again, these are free use actions, so you consume them, cast a spell augmented with that magic, and then bring it into life. They're single use. They are rather powerful. The cure spell one is also 150 gold.
Wait, so can Amaryllis cast
Yeah, I don't
cure
have any
spells?
curing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, but it's because it's the feel the love dab is why he said that. Because he's like,
He was just
look at the
being,
lady.
he was being
It's to
cheeky.
feel that love.
No, but what I'm saying is, so because she can't cast healing spells.
This
if
one
she
does not
smoked-
come with a spell built into it. No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like-
she would have to get the whatever it is, the White Widow. smoke that first?
No. So White Widow does not give you access to any new magics,
It is-
and these
okay.
dabs are a single spell. This one particularly just augments healing. So
Got
if you smoke White Widow, you get a reroll any number of the dice once. If you smoke this, the Feel Dad Love Dab, you just get max healing from whatever spell you cast.
Does it affect temporary hit points at all?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, because temporary
Nah,
hit points
son.
are already pretty powerful.
There, yeah.
If it gave you, if it
Maybe a
gave,
different ganja dealer. I'll do a little balance check on that and see what the price would be, because I think that's a pretty cool idea. It would be a single use 1 round kind of thing, but yeah, that gives me ideas.
max temp HP.
I
Yeah.
like ideas.
So Pickles is like a little bit spooky, like a little bit spookier now. So while everyone's talking, he's just like weirdly looming next to. You can see the jar of the dead head. So he's just weirdly like looming there now with like both arms down, just like a little teddy bear staring.
The cold, dark
yes.
button eyes.
Yeah, it's just a little like we're gonna say like 15% spookier now. He's
No,
just
I love it.
Nothing's different about him. He's just.
You get those like anime shadow lines on your face a little bit. Like,
Aww, but they're really cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, it's
It's
hard,
just
Pickles. No
like-
matter
It's
how tough you
endearing.
look, you're
It's
cute.
just,
It's like-
yeah, everyone's like, look how cute he is. Like,
It's that endearing type of
Yeah.
horror, you know?
He's like in front of the TV and the poltergeist, like be
Yes.
here.
So yes, you're standing in front of the deadhead jar, and this new magic, you just became Fey touched, and as part of that became familiar with the spell Hex and necrotic damage. It's like you just learned a new flavor. It's like you got this necrotic umami, the necronic, and you're like, you can taste it on your lips, and then you see a big jar full of it. You know what I mean? And he's like,
You see, like,
ah. He looks over and flies over. He's like, you show some love for the death, and he like starts unscrewing the jar top, and this pungent aroma punches you in the face. He's like, interested? 50 gold for you. He's even smaller than you. He's like 3 inches tall.
Guys.
What? He's tiny.
Oui, I am oui, but he is also oui.
No, he's wee. You
Mais
said
oui.
it. You were the one.
I would like to spend 50 gold on this, and I feel like I would be able to use it very well.
Let's liquidate party assets too. There's enough vendors around and stuff that I would give you full value for anything that you wanted to sell and kind of pool. What's our rough group? We can just split that by 5, and that's how much independently each of you guys have if you want to do that.
Okay.
1,000 gold, 250 in gems.
250 in okay. So each of you gets 200 gold and 50 gold piece in gems.
Okay. Oui.
Sorry.
I want to. No, I appreciate it. It is not my.
In addition to whatever we had.
Yeah, and then anything on your own person, like that's because we've kind of had a rolling group loot going. So anything of your own personal value that you've written on your sheet, that's your own belongings.
Usually, I just charge everything to the Ned Marnier, but I figure I do not think I will have that gig for very much longer.
Yo, Dat Man says that's a great point, Pickles. You see, he's like, would you like that put on the Nade's account? She will be here soon, and we know she's good for it.
She does like to smoke that dank shit. You are correct. One of the few
She
ways
puffs like
that
a chimney.
she deals with the PTSD. It is very good for that. It is very good to call her for the PTSD, for everything that she has been through.
Poor lady had been through a lot.
Oh,
Been through some shit.
That library was sad.
Alyssa.
Sad-ass
there
library.
is so much sadness. So yes, let us charge it, because I know she would probably, add it to the tab.
So
that
sweet. So yes,
The dab
so
tab?
you see again, Dat Man. This is one of the finest ganja dealers known in Sativan, and your lady, Alyssa Nade, is very well off and has definitely, carriages have come from far and wide. In fact, Dat Man apparently tried to woo Sarah at one point, but was kicked out after he also started hitting on Alyssa. And
Yeah.
so it's
And then Alyssa was like, no, but also
but, maybe I'll see
I'm
you
gonna.
in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Yeah, we'll Ashbury.
No, not for that though.
Yeah.
Also,
and then maybe
my order's still in. We're still good. Okay, good.
Yeah. So you see, he pulls out. He goes through this little area where he has parchments written down, and you see family crests of like the great houses of Sativan, the creme de la creme, and of which the Nade family is one of. Again, everybody's like, where did they come from though? And so nobody can remember. But yes, she is well known, and he puts your 50 gold piece charge on the Nade account.
Nice.
Oui, merci. Just kind of puts that fucking jar like kind of underneath the tambourine.
Heck yeah.
Just like do. Yeah, ties it into
Look at your
the thing.
pockets.
Yeah.
Aw.
He like creates a pocket.
Me too. Pockets.
Aw,
Pickles with
pockets.
Pickles
Pickle
with
pocket.
fucking oui. I love it.
All right, so yeah, you see Dat Man like looks around at the rest of you guys. Anybody is welcome to purchase some of this ganja. You see,
Yeah,
he
I'm
is
super
friendly.
interested. I've had like a kiss of that wild magic, and I wonder if these new strains might sort of lead back into that feeling. I like the look of the shock trooper.
Shock Trooper augments your lightning spells. You can either add +1 to a DC of a saving throw for, which I don't think yours function that way yet, but you'll get lightning bolt eventually. That's basically what they're talking about.
Can I do it with Chaos Bolt?
Because you could do it and make it a lightning spell, because you have that choice. And then, I think you have to roll for which energy type it is.
Do I roll?
You know what? I would say that's a cool way to augment that. You can force it to be lightning if you use that choice.
Oh, okay, cool.
So your first thing will be lightning, and you'll get the. So
then,
either you get +1 to the DC, or you re-roll any of the damage dice once. So if you roll badly, it's a nice way to like bring the top end of spells out of dice control, but it costs money. So you see, he's like, yes, the Shock Trooper, 50 gold. When he brings it out, there's little like crackles of lightning that hum between the individual little hairs on the buds. Like it's this magic, wild little plant.
Can I take a sniff? What does it smell like?
It smells like just before a heavy rainstorm, that like moisture in the air, but there's like an electricity to it. It like singes your nose a little bit when you breathe it in and gives you goose pimples. And you kind of shake a little bit. Yeah, it's
This
crackling
is
lightning.
stank shit.
Only the best. Only the best.
Of course, I'm taking it. Thank you.
Just flies around in this little cloud of smoke. You get that. You feel like there's like a little lightning twirl around you as he flies away. And what of you? He goes over to you, Gary. He's do you have any interest in that good shit? I don't know why he's a baru all of a sudden.
Come on, lawman, be cool.
Hey, listen here.
Yeah, this is a merchant.
I've dabbled
He's a
with
cop.
I've dabbled with the good poop. It's okay. It's fine. I've got my eyes on the Northern Lights. I've had some offshoots. We always called it Holy Moly, and it was, I don't know. I trust that just the whiff I'm getting.
Because when
here,
you hit it, you go, holy moly.
Holy.
I think this is gonna be a lot better.
So yes, this, he's like, I have blended the seed with the benevolent soils of the lady herself. And he pulls out this little, it's like the jar itself kind of glows. And he's like, and he cracks it open, and it just smells the way that the church of the Lady in Ashbury smells when you're in there lighting prayers. There's like a little bit of incense, the wicker burn of candles, and the moisture in the air, as well as this ever-burning, flickering green fire of the Lady that spreads this benevolent light. It's the exact smell of like the last time you knelt in prayer at the Church of the Lady. And
Nice.
He's like, the Lady herself flows through these leaves.
I feel it. Thanks, Dad Man.
50
Oh,
gold,
yeah.
little man. Put that shit in my hand.
In my hand.
That's
I can't help but just like dance with him as he starts doing it.
Oh yeah, you literally can't help. Like he's so magical. You're like, oh shit. Uh-oh. My ganja, Ria. Hey,
Oh,
hey.
my God.
I'll drop the gold like to the rhythm, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, you see he's like, whoosh, and he holds his hand out, and then like 20 little hands drop, and he like catches all the coins as they fall. And his hands come back. He's just this little magic fairy guy. Anybody else interested in any of Dat Man's product?
Oh, definitely.
Oh.
I don't even cast
well,
radiant
they
spells.
talk
But
about
can we get
the-
that northern light?
While they talk about the smells of the other ones, Pickles kind of like reaches back and like looks at it and sees that it literally has like a skull and crossbones on the
Yeah.
little thing, and it's this whole thing, and I'm like, No. And I'm gonna just we'll see.
Yeah, it's a corpse. It just smells like.
It just smells like death. Yeah, you're like, oh,
it's a moldy nug.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like if you don't dry them properly, they mold. That's actually I should have done that in the first place. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
What is this nug growing mushroom?
Yeah,
Oh,
what's
God.
happened? Yeah, it's just this angry. When you
But
open
do
it,
we
it's
just change it to necrotic damage? I think that's too good.
Necrotic.
you open it and you hear and close.
Just put it away.
Yeah.
Nothing. Meanwhile, Gary's like, it's like I'm in church.
Yeah. Rain, dewy.
You're like a
rain.
suburban mother of 3 in one of those candle stores. Just it's fall now. Like you're just so happy.
Apple pie with cinnamon. Am I right?
Fresh lemon.
Toasted.
All right.
Get
Sorry.
the fuck out.
Yeah.
All right, Dickens, you see he's looking at you. He's like, you like what that man got?
Oh yeah, I
Don't you
like
want that,
it.
Dick?
Stop. Not in front of my friends. I want the Northern Lights and I want that glass dab.
All right. So the glass dab we said was 150. And then, and which one did you want the other one?
And then the Northern Lights.
And then a little of the Northern Lights. You see, he's like, you can only purchase this many at a time. You have to leave the store and come back in. I'm kidding. That's how ridiculous cannabis laws are.
It really is.
Now, if you go off the exit and come back in, that's different. Okay. So, yeah, that's 200 gold. He's like,
Okay,
that man got what you need.
I attempt to put it on the church account.
All right. Make me this is a deception check.
Totally fair. Deception.
21!
What?
Oh.
Ayo.
Church of the
NBD.
Abstract. All right, you see Dickens, you're like, he, again, Dat Man, was you and him used to run, and so he knows you're with the Church of Glorp. And so you say it, you see he goes back and he flips through a couple papers, and instead of house crests, you see he's got this little picture of a little green cloud with green circle eyes and a little green mouth. And he peels it back and he says, and you look at it, he pulls one paper out and then it unfolds and 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 unfolds. And it's 120 feet long of just purchases from the Church of the Abstract from Dat Man.
That's the thing. I don't have a business account, but they exist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The church is a very common.
Sorry.
And then Dippy shoots you 20 for
No. I was just trying to click on a different window. I'm sorry. No.
Roll damage. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. That's it. You got. All right. So you see he completely. There's no doubt in his mind that you are an official agent of the church, and as such should be afforded the benefits of one of those positions. So he smooth move. You got yourself a dab, and remember that allows you to cast the spell Mirror Image one time as a bonus action. And then the spell affects as it does, and then it goes away. And you also got what'd you get? Thunderfuck? Or Northern Lights for the Radiant spells. That one allows you to reroll any number of dice on a healing spell.
The Northern Lights, it's a Radiant spell.
Radiant spells, I'm sorry. Yes, that's the same. Yeah. Oh, wait. Did I do that right? Yeah, Northern Lights.
Yeah, same that Gary got.
Yeah,
right?
same that Gary got.
Yeah.
With that sweet love and you've smelled, you're a church man yourself. You're familiar with the smell of a holy location. It doesn't have that sweet glorp smell though.
Right.
And that glass dab, right?
Yeah.
It does smell way better than the standard church stuff.
It's a little
Right.
confusing. You can't pin it down.
All right, Digby, you see he flies up to you. What of
Yes.
you, old folk man? Your father has come by. He was trying to work with blending the effects of the ganja with the food
What?
that he serves,
That's
thus make people more hungry as they eat. Every restaurateur's dream. Too
crazy.
bad we couldn't finish that puzzle.
I know, right? I don't know what was going on when that happened, because my father doesn't do this.
Yeah, it's like news to you. And he's like, whoop, up, cat's out of the bag. But yeah, apparently your father was trying to augment food with the powers of ganja.
Just, really? That's so surprising.
Dads are people too, bro.
Hashtag dads are people too.
Dads are people too, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? You're completely right. So, I forgive him for all of his misgivings that he, kept me from knowing, to make me
Protect
better.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But now I have the best friends ever. So I would like a little bit of thunder fucking moon rock charged to the burrow as soon as possible.
That's so funny. Thunder fucking Moonrock. That's what he calls your mother, man. And he goes and grabs 2 nugs.
Seriously?
That's the death drop in the background.
For a little fairy mic.
Oh. See, they told me you were that man, but now you're that man.
That man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna give you a 10% discount because of how sick that burn was.
I'll take the aloe vera.
So,
Thank you.
which ones were you getting, Digby?
Moonrock and Thunderfuck.
Nice. Moonrock augmenting your force spells +1 to the DC or attack roll and reroll any number of dice. And then
Oh wait,
Thunderfuck.
was it Thunderfuck or I'm sorry, Flower Bomb. My bad.
Bomb.
I thought
Flower
I just
Bomb. Oh, yeah.
love Thunderfuck so much. So I'm like,
Digby, the flower bomb, when he cracks the lid open, it's like you smell what to most people might be the disgusting smell of sulfur, but it's like that pungent aroma of gunpowder almost.
yeah.
And it's like, that this strange fire powder that's used that he like sprinkled into the soils that he grew this with comes from the Indicus Empire.
Right.
And so, but it's like, yeah, you smell that sweet sulfury smell. It just
sweet
cracks
soap.
off. That flower bomb as an artillerist is just like, oh. +1 to DC or attack rolls with fire spells, or reroll them any number of dice once.
You. And then the Moonrock, I figured I could use that for my my force cannon thing
Totally.
too. Right?
Yeah.
The flamethrower, the force cannon.
Yeah,
So
I like the idea of you like putting it in it.
yeah, and like
Yeah, your foreskin.
Hurt.
Yeah, your foreskin.
just
God damn it.
I'm not the only one who heard foreskin, right?
Nah,
Like,
now I can't
Okay.
unhear it. Yeah, it's like the Blackhawks. Like once you hear it
Right.
the other way, you can never go back.
exactly.
Oh no.
Yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks.
maybe I just have foreskin on the brain.
Oh, there it is.
You know, I've been thinking about foreskin all day today. I
day.
can't get it out. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's scary.
Give it a kiss, right?
Dads are people too, bro. How did we get here? All right, so you
we
purchase
get
your
here?
Moonrock and your flower bomb, and yes, you see Dat Man is there's a lot of other customers. He's like, Dat Dick, so good to see you again, but there is going to be made. The path of commerce is paved with gold and content and happy souls. I hope I left you all with as much happiness as you held in your hearts when you came here. He like spins around and a little smoke puffs out of him.
Oh shit. Deedly dee.
Wheedly
There it
dee,
is. Yeah.
wheedly doo.
Kind of great. Usually they stick around for way too long. I gotta go.
Right?
He's the best. Very.
That's why he's Dat Man. Like he does.
That's
he
why
shows
he's
up on
Exactly.
time at the agreed upon location.
Mhm.
Never overcharges. Every time you weigh it, it's like 0.5 over, just to be safe. You know?
Yeah, he is
Oh,
always
yeah.
exactly 15 minutes late.
yeah, as it's supposed to be.
Always. It's like I'll be there in
Reliably,
10.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll see you in half an
10:15,
hour.
I'll be done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So we re-up and now we can get started. Yes?
Yeah,
I think so.
we should. I mean, I'm all for finding out where Cedric is and maybe finding out what Alonza is up to.
There's that.
So as far as you know that Alonzo Quinfell is a member of the Path of the Hunt, and I'm kind of pinging on the map here just for you guys. And the Path of the Hunt kind of sets up near the bad DM moment.
Oh,
Oh.
the Wallshade Briars.
The Mad About You path.
It's the patch of like thicket and thumble that surrounds Humble Patch, and kind of protected it from animals and the like to allow them to set up in the state of abundance that they are. And so, she would most likely be with the Path of the Hunt. Her and her significant other Iman are both Path of the Hunt. And so, you guys saw them before, again, out hunting midnight geese. The last time you saw her, she took Cedric and said that you could have him back when you brought her the God Seed.
I forgot about the midnight.
Well, she'll be fine that we don't have it, right?
Well, I say we just be honest and tell her where it is, and then we can go from there, maybe? Or...
Yeah, I think so. Let's go.
Unless anyone has any reason to not feel that way.
All right. So the way I want to do this is it's like this big bustling location. You've got you guys come across, you leave this little area here. You're just kind of taking in scope of what's going on around you. These observations and everything.
Yeah, I want to take a peep, look around and see if there's any new people, because I've come every single year. I kind of want to see if there's any weird vibes around, if there's any craziness. I want to take a real good look of Rudy.
Okay, so we're gonna do this as a skill challenge in a different context of the old 4E skill challenge. This is more or less an opportunity for each of you to use your abilities, knowledge of backstory, character, to attempt to help solve some puzzles. You have quite a few puzzles floating around right now. You have Slapsix on the tower. You have Cedric Ingelmonder and Alonzo Quinfallow. There's also the matter of the gate and what lies beyond, and the ceremony at which the gate will open, later tonight when the sun sets, about 12 hours from now. So, and I also want to give each of you an opportunity, because this is like a town also. There's tons of merchants and stuff. You guys have some money. If you wanted to upgrade your characters with weapons, armor, or the like, anything in the player's handbook, you would have access to easily. Some rarer things you'd probably have to roll for or whatever. For instance, Gary, if you wanted to find that remove curse we had talked about, that would, if you use some abilities to try to find that, it's just kind of opportunity. Obviously, our focus is coming to Alonza, but it's you walk over to the area where the Path of the Hunt is, and you see elves hanging up various pelts and skinned animals and giving sharpening knife displays and feats of archery. And you look around, and Alonza is not immediately recognizable. And so one of the nearby elves is like, "Oh, she's gone about the festival. She said she should be back soon. Her and that gentleman friend of hers." And so you're like, "Gentleman friend of hers."
All right, he's alive still. That's cool.
Yay!
So that's where boom. So that's what this skill challenge, how it presents itself to you guys. I like to use the abilities and stuff that on your character sheet out in ways outside of just combat applications or skill checks. So go ahead, any of these things. If you have questions, answers, plot points, things you're looking for, specific stuff, each of you has an opportunity to use some function of your character in this busy, populated environment to make some of these things happen. So I'm going to go ahead, Amarillo, since we did start with you. What would you like to do right now? Everybody can shop and stuff as part of this if you need to. Just consider that something we can always do. But beyond that, what would you like to achieve in this little town interlude?
Yeah, well, since it's so busy here, I want to see if I'm very familiar. I know everybody. I want to start saying hi to people and maybe see if I can't get more information on where Alonza specifically would be out of the townsfolk.
Perfect. Yes, and you find now with this new charisma you have, this wild magic, your charisma is popping right now, and it's almost like your force of will is so strong, it tends to bend people your way a little bit. So this check you'll make with advantage. Give me a, let me see, this would be, I would say it's a flat charisma check. You're trying to use your influence with people that you know to find information about a certain thing. So go ahead and give me just on your character sheet, click, I think just the charisma stat itself.
Not saving throw.
Correct, not saving.
Nice.
Boop.
You ask Cedric. Hey, Cedric, have you seen Cedric?
Whoa! You've seen yourself. Seriously. Whoa!
I was just thinking, it's been a minute since we smoked.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. So you, okay.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm not splitting the group for the purposes of like, if any of you are in danger, you're not all with each other. You know what I mean? This is just like each of you finds that you can cover more ground going out. So Amaryllis, you'll follow the Cedric line. You know, everybody else has their own thing, but you're like, I think it's really important to find Cedric. And so in this kind of like, you ask the guy who was like, oh, he went to do some things in this, and you're like, well, which way did he go? And he points you that way, and you start walking down. And then you see this gem dealer, you know, he's a goblin. He's like this little goblin gem dealer. He's got like a big backpack full of gems on his back. And he's like, oh, hi, Amaryllis. How you doing today? And he comes up to you and he's just looking at you, a friend that you know, somebody who travels a lot and everything, a pretty wise fellow. So you look up and he's like, happy for the festival today, huh?
Yeah. Have you seen Cedric at all?
Cedric. Oh, yeah, that Inglemonder boy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. And he looks up at you and he's like, how much is that information worth?
Oh, look at you. Well, I have some gems here.
You see, he's like, oh. And he looks at the gems. You know, you have the some that you found after the trial in the Temple of the Ruby Maiden. So you break out a couple of the gems, and you see he like starts reaching for them, and then he looks up, and you see he just gets lost in your eyes for a moment. Like the shine of gems is also present in your eyes. And he looks up
I
at
like
you.
use them to like reflect the light off of my cheekbone.
Yeah, multiple like a rainbow of gem colors like on your face, and you see he's like at first he's reaching for the gems.
These gems?
Yeah,
And then he
she
like,
does that.
instead of grabbing the gems, he just like, you know, he has like sharp goblin fingers and you have kind of demonic fingers. So he just like, the human equivalent of like takes the tip of your hand and he says, oh, this one's on me, love. And he points over and it's literally like, there's this like guy selling rugs and he moves the rug and Cedric is standing there. You see Alonza is like inside the shop. And she's like standing there inside the shop talking to a merchant. And Cedric is literally just standing outside. And he has kind of like an absent-minded look on his face and is just kind of looking around at things. And you make eye contact with him.
Okay, this is crazy, but can I kidnap Cedric?
All right. All right, you see, yes, you absolutely can. So...
I need like a bag to put him in.
You want to bag it. You want to bag Cedric.
Dickens' hands! I need your hands, Dickens!
I'm 100% on board with this idea now.
Dickens, Amaryllis asks to borrow your pants.
Dickens!
Please?
Yeah, okay. I'm like, okay. And I just drop them faster than, I can't say that. But I drop them real quick. and I'm like, these are really important to me though, but here.
Thank you.
You guys are blinded by the pale white clown skin of Dickens's legs as he has underwear with his own face on them and a couple glorps. And he pulls down his, somewhat magical cartoon clown pants and he hands them over to you, Amaryllis. You see, Cedric is like, he like turns back and he looks into the store and, watches as Alonzo is like negotiating with this merchant. And Amaryllis, you have Dickens clown pants. What do you do?
I'd like to attempt to kidnap him cartoon style and throw them over his head.
Okay. You're gonna have to make an attack roll with clown pants. So roll me, it's gonna be a D20 plus your dex modifier. Plus your proficiency. Well, I don't know that you're proficient in clown pants. I'm sorry. I can't give that to
It's
you.
okay.
She's work appropriate though.
Fashion.
In attire.
Yo, 15 plus what's your dex?
Would that be +1? Yeah, +1.
Awesome. So you see you're like standing there, Cedric turns and he's standing, he's not in his like cave dwelling clothes, kind of looking like the dude from Atlantis. He's actually got more of his like scholarly Path of the Sky stuff on. He has like shoulder length blue cloth that hangs down and light sky blue accessories, the Path of the Sky, lots of whites and blues and, knee-high blue boots and white pants. And, but he's in
So
kind
he's
of his,
looking well kept. He
looks okay. And you see he kind of like turns and looks over to Alonzo, and as he turns back, he's like looking over at you and you're sprinting through the crowd, just your tail whipping behind you, your demonic fingers kind of reaching out.
And my wings are going. My wings, they're not doing anything, but they're going.
You see they're flapping with all the might, the power of your charisma, the force of your will as he, oh my God, Amaryllis! You bag him, you see his like, it's like in a cartoon, you see his like fists and feet popping out of the clown pants in different locations, but you've kind of got him in this bag. Make me a stealth check.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm gonna start drinking. This is the worst day of my life.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, it was almost on a 20. 18!
18.
Hey.
All right, Amaryllis, you see you bag him in this, it's like holding a bag full of angry cats. It's just kind of like fighting him. Like, what are you doing? As Cedric is going in these clown pants, you, like a burglar, toss him over your shoulder. And then you see the sharp elf ears of Alonza Quinfallow. And she quickly turns, and all she sees is the road because you're hiding underneath one of the carriages nearby with the bag. It's still fighting away, and you see this master huntress starts walking around with her. She has these tan skin. She's a classic wood elf, very dark skin from the sun, and long kind of brown orange hair. She's got like an elven band in her hair that she walks up, and you see her like amber eyes. She puts her foot on the other side of the carriage. You see her looking around.
And
that's where we're going to pick it up next time, guys!
I was like, I want to be there! Okay, fine.
Oh my god.
Keep it, because we'll be starting there. That's where we'll be back to.
Oh, that's
so.
amazing.
Oh, man, yes.
Can we just call that color orange?
I like that. The Cleveland Browns.
Brown and orange is orange.
You can rhyme orange with orange, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Just let's make it a new word so that you can
Her
finally.
orange hair. I'm writing it down.
Orange.
Orange. You know what's funny? That's a color when I get to make my own characters in video games. I like to have that, like that orange.
That kind of rusty.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, dudes. Holy crap! So we have we've found ourselves. I'm gonna say, just for the ease of like stuff, if we want to do purchases off game, like just throughout the week, if there's anything you want to buy that's like the traditional stuff, anything
Cool.
weirder, we might role play out. But like if it's like you want to buy new armor or buy a new weapon or something that you can get the PHP, just let me know and we'll do that. But yeah, guys, holy shoot, there are a lot of things lingering around. We have Cedric, he's trapped in some clown pants. Dickens' brother Slapsticks apparently sucks in joy and breathes out blight and is somewhere near this wizard tower floating in the waters nearby. The gate itself, the black iron gates that will open for this festival, have an army on the other side, as seen by Amaryllis, and behind them a black cloud of blight that's growing across the southern lands. Quite a bit of stuff to address here, guys, and I can't wait to get to it. So please join us next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific, where we will be continuing this Harvest Festival. And let me tell you, there's going to be quite a lot of cool shit. So, and can we just, is Dat Man? Like, Dat Man is awesome.
Dat Man.
I love Dat Man.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to do we'll have to do like a one shot where you all play like somebody's Vivica Seafox, somebody's Dat Man, like maybe
Someone's Tank Badgerly.
Tank Badgerly.
I'm a Dat Man fan.
Dat Man. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with us, buds. This is always a treat. You guys are the best people to play D&D with in the world.
Yeah.
It's such a treat to know you as a
Likewise,
human and as a DM. Oh my gosh. Play D&D with your friends. Fucking enjoy yourselves. Be yourself. Be proud of who you are and create stuff and have fun. We do have us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you heard about it. Maybe you haven't. We like to take a lighter, like this red one here. Make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or Dat Man on fire. And go. Light us up. Oh, thanks for playing D&D with us, buds. That D&D. Oh, that D&D. Weed&d and Dat Man.
So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.